Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Randa, and today we're starting another week of Randa's Crafty Vlog. It is Monday, September 19th, 11:49 a.m. I don't know. Here we are. We had a good weekend. What did we do? On Saturday, Perry went with some people in the neighborhood, whoever's being noisy, with some people in the neighborhood and his friend Mario and Mario's fiance. I guess they're engaged now. Fiance Debbie, and we're really close with them, Mario and Debbie. So he went. The only reason I didn't go is because of the motorcycle that he took. They all took their motorcycles and they drove up to like Wyoming. They rode up there and like whatever. But I didn't go because if you've been following the vlog for a while, you know I've been on his Harley once, and it's really not made for somebody to sit on the back without a backrest. And so you feel like you're gonna fall off at any second, and I had like a full-blown panic attack. So I couldn't go because I can't sit on the back without a backrest. We don't have one yet. So, but when they came back, I cleaned the house while they were gone. He was gone for like 5 hours. And then when they came back, he was like, oh, they'll probably come in for a second. I was like, perfect, the house was clean. So I put clothes on. And then he's like, oh, they actually, because they just moved. So they were doing long distance for like 3 years, Mario and Debbie. And she lived in Chicago, which is where Mario and Perry are from. And Mario was here. And they just recently, maybe 6 months ago or less, they moved into an apartment together in a town here in Colorado called Green Valley Ranch. And they've been talking, Mario's been talking about wanting to buy a house for a while. And they got here and realized there are 3 houses for sale on our street alone. The one right across the street has already sold, but the one directly next to us and then 2 down at the end of the block are for sale. And 2 of them are 1-stories and one of them is a 2-story house. And they saw the 2-story house and they were like, oh, we have to. So Perry comes in and is like, they want to go look at the house at the end of the street. Like, do you want to come with? I was like, yeah, bet. So we went and looked. It's a very nice house. It's like, just because the market has gone up and stuff like that, it is a lot more money than what we paid for our house. And it's also bigger than our house. So, but it was a very nice house and they were very excited. They like fell in love with it and like immediately wanted to buy it. And I was like, how fun would that be if Mario and Debbie bought a house just down the street from us? It's a 30-second walk that direction. So I was like, that would be so fun. We'd have a couple friends near us. Like, it'd be such a good time. And especially because they had just been hanging out with everybody in the neighborhood. There'd like a couple of neighborhood friends went on the ride with them. And so they were, it was all of us neighbors like talking to each other and whatever. And they were like, I love that all the neighbors know each other and are friends and like this area is super cute, whatever. And I was like, yeah, we love it here. Like, you guys will love it here. And so I was like, my mom is a real estate agent and my mom helped us buy this house. And so I was like, let me get you in contact with my mom and she can help you guys if you want to buy this house. And so I told my mom already and she knows. And so it's like, they might be buying the house, but I thought that was super fun. So that happened on Saturday. And then they came in and hung out in our house for a little bit. And, they're like so excited. They were like, no, we want to buy this house. We want to buy this house. And from what I heard about like their income and their credit score and stuff, they should have no problem like getting approved for it. So, So that'll be, so it's like, and the seller is really just kind of wanting to get rid of it. So they are probably going to be able to go like 10 grand below asking price or something, and they might still be able to get it because the owner was there and was talking to them and stuff. And, so it's like, that would be so fun. I think that would be so fun. Mario and Perry have been friends since like middle school or something. They moved out here together. They're very close. And I met Debbie right when I met Perry, because they've been together for like 3.5 years. Perry and I have been together for 3 years. So it's like we started dating at just around the same time. And so it's like we've known them since we got together. And so it would be so fun for them to, I mean, of course, he's known Mario for longer, but we've been, all 4 of us have been friends for a while. And so it's like, it'd be so fun if they moved right down the street. So that was that. And then I got a call also on Saturday about, because I called them on Friday. I don't remember how I told you guys this. So for those of you who have watched like my last vlogs and things like that, you know that I just recently found out that I have gum disease. Very fun. Lovely bad habits catching up to me from when I was depressed out of my ever-loving mind. And those bad habits are now catching up to me. And so I just like, what was it, last week? I think it was a week ago that I found out that I had gum disease and that I was going to need a procedure of sorts called a deep cleaning, where they have to numb you and they go underneath your gums and clean them out to try to get rid of any plaque and stuff so that the gum disease doesn't continue like spreading. That once you have full-blown gum disease, you know, you start with gingivitis is early stage and then it can go further. And once you start having bone loss, then you have gum disease or periodontal disease. And that's where mine got to, that we were past gingivitis and it was full-blown gum disease, even though I was only having symptoms on one tooth. Anyway, you obviously can't reverse bone loss. So you can't like, and once you have gum disease, it's something that you just kind of like have. But you can, especially when you're in the mild stages, like I am, you can kind of reverse or at least stop the spread, if not sort of repair some of the damage that had been done. And I'm not like to the point where I'm about to lose any teeth or like anything crazy like that. The dentist told me that like I'm in the very mild stages and it's very consolidated. So that's a good sign that I caught it very early on. I wish I had caught it when it was just gingivitis, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. So, but they like needed to wait because I have Medicaid. They needed to wait for Medicaid to approve and so that they would pay for the deep cleaning. And, they didn't know when that was going to happen. So they had scheduled me for like 2 weeks out, but then, you know, it's been a week. And my gum had started like getting worse, where it was, even though I was brushing, I even bought a toothbrush that has like a 2-minute timer on it. I bought a Quip toothbrush. If you don't have one, they're fantastic. That has a 2-minute timer. So I've been brushing for the 2 minutes twice a day. I floss once a day. I mouthwash once a day. Ever since I found out. So, you know, for the past week, I was trying really hard to take really good care of it. And granted, there's only so much you can do because it's below what a toothbrush can reach and what a floss can reach. So there's only so much you can do, but I thought maybe I could help consolidate it a little bit more. But then it started like getting worse and, like not like in a horrible way, but that like my gums started receding even further. And now the skin on my gums is starting to like peel off in layers. And it's like, that's all like early stage gum disease. And it's like, oh God. So I called them on Friday and I was like, you know, I understand we have to wait for Medicaid to be done, but is there anything that I can do to like get in earlier? Because I don't want to just, my appointment is 2 weeks out and I don't want to just like sit for 2 weeks and let it get worse. I'm doing everything I can, but it's still getting worse. And they were like, no, definitely. So they were like, let me, they were out of office that day. I was talking to the after hours people and they were like, I can't see their records, but I'll have them give you a call on Saturday and see if your Medicaid has approved it yet, because frankly, it shouldn't take that long. And if it is, then we can get you in as soon as possible. And so then they called me on Saturday and said, your Medicaid has been approved. So we can get you in as soon as Monday if you really want to like get a move on. And I was like, oh my God, because I'm making my mom come with me because I'm a scaredy cat. And they prescribed me Valium because I have so much anxiety around it. And like, if you don't remember, I had a full-blown panic attack in the chair when they told me like it was a thing. And so it's like, I still haven't filled the Valium. I needed to fill the Valium. And my mom was camping this weekend and didn't have any cell service. And so I had no way of like asking her if she was going to be available on Monday to come with me. And so I was like, oh God, I don't know. There's a couple, whatever. And they were like, well, what about Wednesday? We have Wednesday as well. And I said, let's go ahead and schedule that. And then if I need to reschedule, I will. Because then tomorrow on my way home from therapy, I can fill the Valium and then I can have a little bit of time to ask mom if she's available. And she said she was. So I'm getting my deep cleaning on Wednesday this week. So 2 days from now. And I'm very nervous about it. I'm doing better the more that it sinks in a little bit. And I still have, for anybody who, again, haven't listened to some of my older videos where I've talked about this, I think probably just my last video where I talked about this, is that I found a website called dentalfearcentral.org, and it helped me a lot. It's a whole website dedicated to fear around the dentist, anxiety with the dentist, phobias with the dentist, anything. And they have like a forum, like a Reddit type forum where you can go in and write your stories and people can comment and whatever. And so I read so many stories about people who were like losing their mind thinking about going into a deep cleaning. And then they did it and they said it was like seriously no big deal. That the worst part is the numbing, and even that is like so not that bad. And so it's like I go back every once in a while and I screenshotted like my favorite story, the one that like comforted me the most. And I go back and read it every once in a while because it helps me take a deep breath because I'm very scared. I hate the dentist. It's like there's a reason it got to full-blown periodontal disease and that I didn't stop it at gum disease or at gingivitis and whatever. And there's a reason I haven't been to the dentist in like 5 years. It's because I'm terrified. So, never skipping a dentist appointment ever again after this though, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I'm scared. But I'm excited for it to be over with because my guess is that I'm going to go in there and I'm going to be scared and whatever. And then I'm going to come out and be like, oh my God, that wasn't that bad. And I was very grateful. I think I said this in my last video. I was very grateful because I said, does Medicaid cover, will Medicaid cover it? Because usually with deep cleanings, they do it in 2 sections, 2 halves of your mouth. Sometimes they'll even do it in quadrants, 4 sections, and they'll do a section a day. So you do like 1 half and then you go back like a week later and do the other half, or with quadrants, you do that 4 times. And I was like, nope, don't do that to me. Don't. They were like, oh no, it's just because like, then your whole mouth will be numb and whatever. I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't care if my whole mouth is numb. I'm not going through this hell and this anxiety twice. I'm not doing it. Especially if I go in and it's a bad experience, then imagine me having to go back a week later to do it again. I'm going to be a fucking disaster. So no, we're not doing that. I said, but I've heard that some insurances don't cover it if you just do it all in one. They only cover it if it's two separate things, which seems obnoxious and annoying. But I said, does Medicaid cover it if you do it all in one? And they were like, no, they don't, but we'll do it all in one for you. And I was like, thank God. So they scheduled, they said for, one half, it's 1 hour appointment. For both halves, for everything at once, it's 2 hours, but I'm going to schedule you for 2.5 hours to make sure that the doctor has time to really go through it with you, that like he doesn't feel rushed, that kind of stuff, because you have anxiety. And I was like, thank you so much. So they're doing it all at one time. They're doing it on Wednesday. I fully suspect that I'll be sore afterwards. It's going to be interesting. I'm nervous. I'm ready for it to be over with. But it's going to be okay. And then on Sunday, Perry and I went to the dog beach, which is our favorite thing. There's a lake near us in Longmont that has a like dedicated dog beach, so that there's a normal beach for like people to hang out, whatever. And there's a dedicated beach just for dogs, and their owners. It's like a dog park, but it's a beach. And so we took Ash there, and there were actually like very like little to no dogs. But it was super fun, and we had a really good time. Perry rented a paddle board. We had fun. And then came home and just kind of hung out, I think. And I went and checked Etsy to see like where our numbers, I usually check at the end of the weekend to see where the numbers are at, how our paychecks are going to look, what's going on. And we had a rough week financially. And frankly, I'm not 100% sure why. I have my suspicions, my guesses, and most of them are like logistics, but it's still rough. Our paychecks are going to be rough this week. So it made me stressed, because anybody else who has ever owned a business, you know how stressful it can be when you have rough weeks. And I know that business ebbs and flows and whatever, but it's still rough when it happens, especially because I have an employee kind of counting on me. And so it's like, I have to like kind of be the bearer of bad news of like, we had a rough week. And I do have things that I can tell her, like that we can do differently to help, because the way that finances work on Etsy is very interesting. And so it's like, there's things we can do to make it better. But so it's like, I think I can talk to her about those things and explain why the paycheck was rough and explain why we didn't make as much as we should have. And none of it has to do with like how much we sold. And that's the funny part, is that we sold out of putty this week. So I was like, what happened? But I think that part will be okay. But it started the stressing process for me, where I was stressing about that. And then I went to brush my teeth and had my gums peeling off in layers. Just like these 3 bottom teeth right here, the skin has been peeling off. And I just sort of like, was like, there's too much going on right now. That it's like, 3 weeks ago, I found out that that I'm like 0.2 whatever away from pre-diabetes, and I need to change my diet, and I need to watch my whatever. And then the week after that, I hurt my knee, and I hyperextended it and was like on crutches and couldn't really walk and couldn't really do anything. And then the week after that, I found out I have gum disease, and that I need to change my habits with brushing my teeth, and that I have to have this scary procedure, and that I might have to have a gum graft, and that's very scary. And like, and then we have a rough week, like financially, and it's like, oh my God, can we just like chill for a second? Because this is like so this is so much going on at once. And like, I'm like, can we just get some of this done? Like, I'm freaking out a little bit. So I feel very tired today. I feel stressed. I feel like I'm gonna burst into tears at any moment, but like, I know it's gonna be okay. I know it's gonna pass. It's just like, you know, things start to add up. You know, you have 1 health problem, 2 health problem, 3 health problem. Like it just starts to be a lot. But I know that I'm gonna be okay. And I know that, like, even with the worst case scenario, I'm gonna be okay. And so that it's gonna be fine. And then I'm probably gonna get done with my deep cleaning and I'm gonna be like, oh my God, it was no big deal. And I'm totally fine now. Like, I don't know. Worst case scenario with that is that the deep cleaning sucks. And then, you know, lucky you only had to do it once. And then the second worst case scenario is that you need a gum graft. And even that is not the end of the world. And then you can have a healthy mouth after that. It's so much. But today is a work from home day. Thank God. I need more of those. But, you know, I was feeling really tired and really whatever, and so that's why I didn't start until noon. And then I got frustrated because I wanted to try overnight oats because I really love oatmeal, and I've been trying to find something, like, good for breakfast, and it just, like, sounded like something that fit, that you put agave in it, you make it sweet, you put fruit in it, and it's a good time, and you can do it, and then it's like you just grab and go for the rest of the week. Like, it's pretty simple and straightforward, and I really like oatmeal, and so I figured it sounded like a great idea. And so I spent like an hour yesterday, like, making them all. I made 5 of them for this week, and then I went and pulled it out and tried it this morning and didn't like it. And it sucks because it's not like it wasn't sweet enough. It's not like it wasn't, you know, like that it's not like it didn't taste good, but the texture of the oats or the, like, whatever it was, I think it was the oats. And I just used rolled oats. Like, I just followed a very basic recipe: rolled oats, milk, vanilla extract, chia seeds, fruit, agave. Like, I didn't put any yogurt in it, so maybe that's, I don't fucking know, but I didn't like the texture of it. And so I was like, I got like 4 bites in and was like, I can't do this. And it's like, fuck, that sucks. I thought this was gonna be a good thing that I could do, and now I have to try to find something else because I don't like the texture. And it's like, it's extremely frustrating. So it's like, I hope that I can figure something out with that, but anyway, I'm just going to get some work done today. I'm going to try to not think about my problems, and just try to, like, enjoy my work day. And then I have a couple, as some of you know, I have been working on scented candles because what I want to do is, I know that, you know, obviously diamond painting is a very relaxing hobby, and a lot of us love candles. Who doesn't love candles, frankly? And so I thought, what a great idea to have a candle in the same scent as, like, the putty that you use, for people who use my putty. And you can burn it while you're diamond painting, and then you just get even more of the wonderful smell and sensation. And when I brought that up in my Facebook group, because I do have a Randa's Crafty Corner Facebook group. It's in my Linktree if you want to join it. When I brought it up in there, everybody was like, oh my God, that's a great idea. How exciting. And so I've been working on those candles for a long time. And I wanted to offer both cotton wicks and wood wicks. I bought some wood wicks from Amazon. They were a flunk. And so then I bought wood wicks from like the place to get wood wicks. Like they invented them, they own the patent. It's like the best of the best place to get wood wicks. And so I ordered wood wicks from them, tried it, and it still didn't crackle very much. Like you had to put your ear right up next to it and you could still barely hear it. And I was like, what's going on? Because I've had, you know, you go to the store, to Walmart or wherever, and you buy the wood wick. It's called wood wick, and you buy it and it crackles like a son of a bitch. And I'm like, why can't I get mine to do that? And so I emailed the people from the wood wick company. Like I said, it is the people who invented the wood wick. Like it doesn't get better than that. And everywhere I've read said if you're not getting wood wicks from them, they're probably not real. And so I'm like, this is like, I messaged them and I said, you know, here's my candle, here's what I'm doing. I don't understand why it's not crackling. And they started by saying something like, it's going to be a subtle crackle, not a strong crackle. And I was like, why? Because I even bought the crackle booster. So like the one that's supposed to be like even more crackly. And I said, well, here's the kind of wax that I'm using. And they were like, oh, it could be that wax. It could be dampening. Like, we suggest you try this wax and this wax. Fantastic. I bought both of those waxes. I'm going to try it out today. And if neither of those work, then I can't offer wood wicks. Because frankly, I refuse to offer a product that I don't 100% stand behind. So then it will only be cotton wicks. If I can't get these damn wood wicks to crackle, I'm telling you, it is the bane of my existence. It's so frustrating because the cotton wicks work perfectly, wonderfully, haven't had a problem with them. It's these wood wicks. And I love wood wicks, and so I wanted to offer them, and I just don't know if I'm going to be able to make it happen. So I'm going to try that today. We're going to see, and then we're going to figure it out. So that's what I'm doing today, is I have a couple of things that I want to do on the computer, and then I want to go do that, and see what we can figure out. So, anyway, now that I've been fucking rambling for 27 fucking minutes, let's, do a Reddit story. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to be able to record a clip tomorrow. Tomorrow I have therapy, and then I have about 101 errands to go run. So it'll be a busy day tomorrow, but I think it'll be a good time. And I think I'll be able to film. Let's see. I'm picking a Reddit story real quick. Oh yeah, my cat got very mad at me this morning. He's a dick. Wait. Am I the asshole for taking my newborn son and going to my mom's house because my husband's mom didn't save me any food for dinner? Let's try it. It's the very top on the page. It was only posted 4 hours ago, but it already has like a ton of awards and a ton of upvotes. Let me just read the title again. Am I the asshole for taking my newborn son and going to my mom's house because my husband's mom didn't save me any food for dinner? Let's see. Oh, and there is like a bit of an edit at the end. It was only 4 hours ago, so I don't know how much of an edit she can have, but anyway, like I said, posted 4 hours ago. This is an Am I the Asshole? 8.2 thousand upvotes, only 4 hours. And a bunch of awards, so I bet it's good. I, female 32, gave birth to my son 5 weeks ago. My husband's mom has been camping in the living room ever since and inviting people over, making a mess in the house, etc. Oh, geez. I said nothing because if I opened my mouth, my husband would start scolding me, saying his mom is there to help and I should be grateful. What I did was ignore her and focus on my son. I handle feeding, diaper change, cleaning, wiping. I only get a few hours of sleep, so my husband's mom isn't really helping with the baby. But I thought to myself, well, at least she cooks for us. Last night, I was in the bedroom breastfeeding my son. I knew I was late for dinner, but I thought that my husband and his mom saved a plate for me. Once I got done with my son, I walked out of the room and saw my husband and his mom sitting watching TV. I asked about dinner, and my husband said it was probably on the stove. As I was walking towards the kitchen, his mom loudly said that she didn't save me any food. I was absolutely shocked. I asked her why, and she simply said, well, we didn't see you at the dinner table, so I thought you weren't hungry. I lost it and yelled that I was feeding my son. Of course I was hungry. I was actually starving. She shrugged her shoulders and said it wasn't her fault. I didn't show up for dinner. But she knew damn well that I was with my son and hadn't eaten a thing in hours. My husband asked me not to raise my voice at his mom, but I told him that he saw what happened and he didn't think about me being hungry and needing food. He lashed out asking what the fuck I wanted him to do, and I said, I don't know, maybe save some food for me? She defended him, saying it was selfish of me to basically berate him for eating his dinner after working for long hours at the department. An argument ensued, and I went inside the bedroom, packed a small bag for me and my son, called my brother to come take me to mom's house, and my husband blew up at me as I was making my way out. We argued at the door, and he told me what I was doing was uncalled for and childish. I told him I couldn't take his mom anymore. He said I should be ashamed of myself for talking about her like that after she literally put her life, quote, on pause so that she could help me out. My brother came and I got into the car and left. He picked some food up for me on the way and I ate like a hungry bear. My husband never stopped calling though. In his last text, he called me nuts and demanded I return today, but I said that I miss my mom, that I like it here in her clean home with her healthy food and would like to stay for a while. He lost it and got his family involved, accusing me of keeping my son from him and punishing him over, quote, food. No, I don't think she's the asshole. No. Granted, there are two sides to every story, and we don't know what the mom's side is and what the husband's side is. But all I can do is take this for what she's telling me. And if what she's telling me is accurate, then yeah, she's not the asshole. The mom is completely out of line. And I bet that this was definitely like the straw that broke the camel's back. And the fact that it's like, it's not my fault because you didn't show up for dinner. It's like you're punishing her for not being ready on your schedule. It's like they talked about and punishing him over food. Like, no, she's punishing you over not being ready at this exact time because you were feeding your son. Like, hello? No, totally not the asshole in my opinion. And the husband and the whole, like, this is so annoying. The whole, like, She defended him, saying it was selfish of me to basically berate him for eating his dinner after working for long hours at the department. It's screaming like, oh, my son is the best, and you're just, who cares? And my son is just the best thing in the whole world, and he works so hard. Granted, I bet he does work hard, but does she not work hard? Does she not just, hello? Like, it sounds like she's a stay-at-home mom. Like, that's a hard fucking job. Yikes. So, and then it's like, she's getting excluded from dinner because she wasn't ready at this exact time, whatever. No, ridiculous. There is an edit at the end. Edit. Okay, to those who are saying that I'm keeping my husband away from his son, I promise you that he has full access to him, but chooses not to come over simply because he hates my mom and refuses to be with her in the same room. How long am I going to stay here? There's no telling, but at least I'm being pampered and treating like a princess by my mom, dad, brothers. Heck, I couldn't get this treatment in my own home. As for my husband, he can come over to my mom's house if he wants to see his son so badly, but I doubt he'll do it since he's a very prideful person, and this might hurt his ego. One more question to answer, because a lot of people asked me to clarify. Yes, department equals police department. He's a police officer. I'm sorry if you got confused, but I thought it was clear. I don't know what the department is, so I just figured it was a job. It didn't matter to me what his job was. So it's like, no, he can come whenever he wants to see his son. He's being a little mama's boy, little baby, for not being like, for not thinking to save any food for his wife. Like that really hurts. Top comment says, breastfeeding while on an empty stomach, that's like going into debt. There should have been heaping mounds of food waiting for you. And OP responded and said, I'm sure they know, ? Especially his mom. They didn't save any food for me, and I was hungry and too tired to make anything for myself, but I was hurt more than anything else. And that the commenter responds and says, the bottom line is that it shouldn't matter what time you decide to eat. There should be food in the house for you. That it's like, no, if you're going to, it's so rude. If this is just my opinion, but it is so rude if you're going to make food, and it is like known knowledge that you make food for everybody in the house, that's your role. That's how you're helping, is that you make food for everybody in the house, and you only make enough food for you and your son, and then you leave her out. Like, that's so mean to like purposely not make food for her. I'm sorry, I'm very thirsty. I have to take a drink. This comment says, so basically, his mother came to take care of him and show off her new grandchild under the pretense of, quote, helping you. Your mother-in-law has ignored you, and your husband is using her as an excuse to skip out on doing his part of parenting. Were there no warning signs earlier in the relationship? Kick her out, tell him he needs to start pitching in or file for divorce, not the asshole. Yeah. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, everybody's saying clearly not the asshole, obviously not the asshole. I agree. Let's see what other comments. This one says hard, this comment says hard, not the asshole. Is his mom homeless or something? She could go home, and who the hell doesn't think a breastfeeding woman isn't hungry? Your husband and mom have a weird relationship that allows them to not think of you at all. I'm very glad you have your own family supporting you. And OP says, no, she has her own house, but has been staying with us for a long time, leaving behind her husband and her work. My husband thinks she's a saint for all of those, quote, sacrifices she's making. It doesn't sound like there's much sacrificing going on. I don't know. This one says, info. You say your husband and mother don't get along. Does he try to come between you and your family often? And OP says no, but he hates her along with some other relatives. No specific reason for that. So he hates a handful of your family members and doesn't have any specific reasoning for it? This one says, info. How did they not save you any food? Are you saying she didn't cook enough? Or did they eat your portion so they both overate? Or did they throw your portion of food away? And OP says, I doubt she even had a portion for me. She cooks small portions, which is strange and completely out of character for her, and probably just served her son and herself the entire thing. But I'm not sure because as I was walking towards the kitchen, she told me there was no food left. There was, however, other food in the fridge, but I was too tired to make myself something from scratch. And you shouldn't have had to when there was the expectation that food was going to be made for you. This one says, obviously not the asshole. I would be asking why his mom is even there. And OP says, she's staying there whether I like it or not. His words, not mine. Yeah. So, definitely not the asshole. That is the only There's a lot of comments from OP, but it doesn't look like any of them. Oh, this is the last one. Not the asshole, but you should meet at a coffee shop or something so he can meet his son and you can lay out expectations for him. Stop being angry about his mother and look at your husband. You married him. That's what it's like, obviously his mother is to blame, but it's also his fault for letting her act like this. Or not even like for letting her act like this, because you obviously can't control how she acts, but you're allowing her to stay in your house and like be mean to your wife. That it's like, that's, you need to be able to stand up for your wife and say that that's not okay. And then if she won't change her behavior, then you kick her out. This one says, oh wait, no, I already read. Okay, meet him at a coffee shop or something, you married him. OP says, no, he is welcome to come, and even mom said he's welcome, but he hates her so much that he's willing to go days without seeing his son just to not have to be in the same place with her. It's just idiotic because there's no reason why he hates her other than for maybe taking my side when he and his mom gang up on me. Okay, it sounds like your marriage is a little fucked, I'm not gonna lie. So, definitely, like, couples counseling, or, like, get out. So, that's it. Oh, I did want to show you my crafting. This is where I'm at so far. I finished the house, I'm doing the walkway right here, and then I did the two little doggos. So, continuing to work on that. And then I wanted to show you just how little, this is Pride from Diamond Art Club. I've been working on it for a couple months. And I just wanted to show you, look how little I have left. That's like 5 sections. Look at that. And then it's going to be done. The rest of it's done. That's so exciting. So, yeah, that's it. It looks so good. It's like, I'm getting to the point where, like, it's not that I dislike working on this kit, but that it's so close to being done that I'm so excited for it to be done. You know what I mean? So, maybe I'll have a little bit of time to work on that today. But that's it. I've been chattering for 42 fucking minutes, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, September 20th. It is 10:49 a.m. We're gonna make today really quick because I've got a bunch of crap to do. And I spent, you know, 40 something minutes talking yesterday. So like, we're gonna make this quick. I have so much to do today. I have therapy, and then I have about like 18 billion errands to go run. So it's gonna be a lot, but I'm gonna get it all done. I have to do payroll today. Lots. I do already have a video scheduled to go up tomorrow, so there will be a video going up on Wednesday, but I will be out of commission because my deep cleaning is tomorrow. Oh, it stresses me out even saying that, but it's true. My deep cleaning is tomorrow, so I'll be completely out of commission tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to be filming anything. I'm not going to be working, whatever. I'll probably be back on Thursday, but I'm going to be in a dentist chair for 2 straight solid hours tomorrow. So it's going to be a good time. Yeah, I'm nervous about it. I don't want to do it. My mom is going to go with me. I'm feeling okay, but I'm not feeling great about it. Like, I'm still anxious. I'm just not, like, about to lose my shit anxious, but, like, anxious about it. I'm getting my Valium today so that I can be partially sedated, I think is, or they call it, what do they call it? They just call it, like, oral sedation, but you're not really sedated. It's just, like, an anti-anxiety. It's like taking a Xanax. You're not sedated. But I know it's going to be okay. I know that it's not going to be as big of a deal as I'm making it in my head. And I know that after tomorrow, I'm going to be okay. There is, at least in my head, they haven't told me yet, but there's a big possibility from what I'm guessing that I need a gum graft for the one gum that is receded really far. It's receded far enough that there's practically no more gum for it to recede. So I assume that that needs a gum graft. Not excited for that, but my aunt had a deep cleaning and my aunt has also had a gum graft. And so I assume she had periodontal disease as well. And she said the same thing about both of them, that like they're not fun, but they're not that bad. It's just not that big of a deal. And so it's like, I hope that that's it and that's gonna be okay. Thankfully, I only need if I need a gum graft, I only need it on the one tooth. Like it's not, so it'll be one portion of my mouth. It's not that big of a deal, but of course I don't want to. Of course I want the deep cleaning to be it, and I don't know yet. So I told my mom, it's like, I have no idea how out of it I'm gonna be tomorrow. So make sure you listen to any instructions they give us. And the one question I want to ask them is, am I gonna need a gum graft? That's what I want to know. So that I can start mentally preparing for it, so that I can go back to Dental Fear Central and search gum graft and like feel okay about it. It's gonna be fine. So that's what's going on tomorrow. I think I'll be able to check back in with you on Thursday. Oh, hold on a second. My employee is calling me. Hold, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, just needed to talk to my employee really quick. And then she just told me that the logbooks arrived. So logbooks are back in stock. Woohoo! If you'd like to grab yourself a logbook, they've been out of stock for like the past week. So if you'd like to grab yourself a logbook, they're back. Yeah, that's it. And I just got good news that I called my dentist while I was pausing the video, and I was like, hey, so, you know, they prescribed me Valium for the anxiety for my appointment tomorrow. I was originally told that you're supposed to take it like the night before and then 1 hour before your appointment. And they were like, no, actually, because it's Valium and not like whatever else they might give you, that you just take it an hour before the appointment. You don't need to take it the night before. And I was like, oh, fantastic. So, that'll be nice. I was like, God, I'm going to be like all hopped up on Valium for like half the day. That seems so weird, but I'm not. So let's read a Reddit story, and then I got crap to do, frankly. Where should we go? What should we do today? What kind of a story shall we do today? Maybe just an Am I the Asshole? What do we think of that? What do we think of that? Okay, very top one on this page. And it has a decent amount of upvotes. So, oh, this one has even better. This one should be good. It has 7.1 thousand upvotes. It was posted 14 hours ago. It says, am I the asshole for telling my niece her dog is not comparable to my child? All right, this says, I lost my 15-year-old daughter in a car accident last year. Ugh, that's awful. I have not been able to clean her room or go in it, so it's the same as it was when she was alive. My husband doesn't go in there either, and we keep the door closed. I don't go anywhere except work anymore, and while I'm in therapy, it isn't helping very much. It'll help over time, don't worry. My niece is 17 and has always been extremely empathetic to animals, but unempathetic to other people. Her dog passed away 2 years ago, and she was very torn up for months, but has completely moved on now. Last week, she came to stay with us for the night, and my husband made her a bed on the couch. She asked why she couldn't sleep in the guest room. I told her, confused, we don't have one as we live in a 2-bedroom house. Niece said that she thought our daughter's room was a guest room now. I explained that we hadn't been able to change anything yet, and she rolled her eyes and said it was a year ago and we need to move on. When I started crying, she tried to apologize, and I think in an attempt to relate, she said that she had taken the loss of her dog very hard, but got over it within a year. And I screamed that my child wasn't a dog. My husband came in to moderate and ended up telling my niece to go home, called an Uber for her. I haven't spoken to her since, but my sister reached out and said I was being unreasonable and had made niece, quote, feel like a monster. I didn't mean to upset my niece, but I feel that she was completely out of line. Am I the asshole? No, you're not the asshole. No, you're not the asshole. Immediately, no, you're not. What happened was to OP was horrible. I've never had a child. I can't relate. I've never had a child, much less lost a child. But it's like, as much as, here's where I'm coming from with this, is that to me, my animals are my children. That it's obviously like not in the same way, but I consider them my children, and I have an extremely like motherly connection with them. And I have lost a dog before, that when I was with my ex, we lived together and we had a dog together, and that dog was like my best fucking friend, my child, like all that I had. And it was in the depths of my depression, and it felt like she was the only one that was there for me. And I considered her my child, like, and when we broke up and I couldn't take her with me, I told my therapist and everybody around me that it felt like losing a child. And she didn't die, I just couldn't take her with me. And I haven't seen her since, but it took me about 3 years to be able to talk about it without crying. So, and it still makes me like tear up a little bit when I think about it. So it's like, while I can understand how that was like a point to like relate, because sometimes like, even like my employee has a 1-year-old, and sometimes she says things and I go, oh my God, but I always preface it with, I know it's totally not the same thing, but that I do the same thing with my dog, where like blah, 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 blah. That sometimes it just relates, and it's the only thing I have to relate to, but I always preface it by saying, I know it's not the same thing. Because obviously a child is like, a love for a child is much more intense. Taking care of a child is much harder. Like, I understand all of that. And it sounds like, granted, your niece is only 17, so she might not, she's still young, but it doesn't sound like she was always like, the fact that she like rolled her eyes and told them that they needed to move on, like only a year after their kid's death, ridiculous. So it's like, I do think she's ridiculous, but I also understand having a dog that feels like a child to you. And so that's why, but she felt like a child to me, and it's in the sense that it's 3 years later and I'm still not over it. and I'll probably never be over it, like, fully. And so, like, it'll always make me sad to think about it. So, like, if it's like, oh yeah, it was a year and I got over it, like, then it's not the fucking same thing, you know, that, and you're being completely insensitive and completely unreasonable. And it wasn't that, because it says, but my sister reached out and said I was being unreasonable and had made niece feel like a monster. It's not that OP made her feel like a monster, is that she was being a monster. That's not acceptable to say to a grieving mother. It's just not. So that's my take on that. Let's see what top comment. Top comment says, not the asshole, and I'm so sorry for your loss. Your niece is young and maybe was trying to relate to you with the only experience she's had. Until you've lost a child, quote, I have, you cannot possibly understand the depth of sorrow. Please try to forgive her. She meant well, but forgiving her ignorance does not mean moving on or cleaning out that room. You take as long as you need. And that's absolutely, and that's part of what I'm learning in therapy right now, is the difference between like forgiveness and acceptance, and being able to forgive somebody and not having to forget what they did. And I think that that's the big thing here, is that you need to forgive her for you, but that does not mean that you have to forget what she did. You know what I mean? That does not mean that you like treat her the exact same after this. That there can be a bit more of a distance, a bit more of a boundary between the two of you because of that. That's still, especially because she hasn't come to apologize to you. She hasn't, no. Let's see what else there is. A lot of people are just replying to the top comment. Let me see if I can find a new comment. Niece may be young, but is old enough to know better, I think. You don't need to have lost a child to know that comparing that to the loss of a pet is insensitive at best. I'd put niece firmly in the asshole category. And that's the thing, is I would never, even though I do grieve my dog ridiculously, like, you know, like I said, I consider her, it felt, I related it to similar to you losing a child. And yet, I know for a fact that it is nowhere near similar. You know, that it's like, that was my way of explaining why it was so hard on me to lose her, because she felt like my child. And yet I know that losing an actual child is so, so different. And even though I have this experience, I would never in a million years use that as a comparison for a grieving mother. I just wouldn't. Because I know it's not the same damn thing. It's not. So, definitely insensitive. All of the things. Yeah. Let's see if there's anything else, or if OP comments at all. There's no comments from OP. There are no other posts. Again, this was only 14 hours ago. So, but damn. Definitely not the asshole. Definitely insensitive niece. Like I said, I think keep in therapy. She says she's in therapy. Keep at it. It will start helping. Or if you really feel like your therapy is not helping because of the therapist, find a new therapist. But if you think it's just that, oh, therapy, blah, 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 then let the therapy have some time. Depending on how long she's been in therapy, let the therapy take its course. There was something else I was going to say, and now I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. and remember to forgive, but that does not mean you have to forget. This is not forgive and forget. This is forgive and figure out what your boundaries need to be. That's what that is. So that's it. Everybody cross your fingers for me for my deep cleaning tomorrow. I'm not going to my employees on Thursday, so I will be at home. So I'll probably be able to film a video on Thursday. So I will, I guess, check back in with you on Thursday. I wish it was going to go as fast for me as it was for you, that it's going to be like 2.5 seconds, and for me it's 2 days, but whatever, it'll be fine. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow or Thursday. I'll talk to you guys Thursday. Hello. It's Wednesday. I just got back from my dentist appointment. I just wanted to check in real quick because I thought it would be funny that I sound fucking insane. I can't feel a damn thing. So I look and I sound crazy. But it really was not that bad. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow. God, what is going on? I'm so sorry. It was not as bad as I thought. I'm doing just fine. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow, but how funny is this? I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Hi everybody, it's Friday. Friday, September 23rd, 4:33 p.m. I just got back from having lunch with my mom, hanging out with her for a little bit. So I know that I was gonna check in on Thursday. I ended up going to my employee's house and helping her all day. So it's been quite a week for me for reasons that I don't want to go into, but I'll talk to you about my deep cleaning. That happened on Wednesday. You just saw the lovely footage from that. That was something. The numbing did wear off after about 3 or 4 hours, and then I was totally fine. I took Advil while I was still numb because I was worried about the pain afterwards. I felt nothing. Even when the Advil wore off, I felt nothing. The only thing is that, like, occasionally, like, when I brush my teeth, not always, but occasionally, it's a little, and when I floss, it's a little tiny bit tender, and my front 3 teeth are a little more sensitive right now to, like, cold. That's it. Like, otherwise it feels like nothing happened. The deep cleaning was so not that big of a deal. But, like, I knew this was going to be the case. I knew I was freaked out for no reason, but I was freaked out for no reason. I told him my doctor was amazing. I sat in the chair and I was like, and he came over and he was like, I hear you're nervous. I'm like, very nervous. I had Valium. It frankly didn't do much. It did a little bit, but it didn't do much in terms of, like, I definitely was not, like, out of it or anything. But he was like, so what exactly is making you nervous? And I said, the shots, the Novocaine. That's the scariest part for me. And he went, makes sense. That's, like, the scariest part for everybody. And he was like, we're going to do it. He's like, you know, we're going to do it slow and sort of build up so that you really shouldn't feel much of anything. And he was like, and I will tell you exactly what's happening and be very, like, communicative with you so that you know what's going on. And I was like, okie dokie. And my mom was there, so she was able to hold my hand, and she was like, I was like, and we're doing it all in one day. And he was like, we can do it all in one day. And I was like, I know she set like a 2.5 hour appointment, whatever. And he was like, oh, and we won't take nearly that long. I was like, okay. So he was like, all right, we're going to do the first 3 shots. The first, you know, we're going to get started. And so I had my mom come hold my hand, and he was like, all right, I'm going to tell you exactly when it's going to happen. Okay. And I didn't even tell him this, but for me, I'm the weirdo that when I get, a lot of people like look away. When I get shots, I like to watch it as it goes in my arm, because then I know when the pain is coming. the thing with me and I'm nervous about all doctor's visits, especially the dentist. And a lot of it is unexpected pain. Is that when, ooh, got something in my hair. When there's pain and I'm not expecting it. And so you're all of a sudden met with this pain and you don't know what's going on. And so it's like, I watch because I like to know when the pain is coming and what's causing it. I don't like pain in general, but at least if I know when it's coming, it's a little more manageable for me. But, so it was so nice for him to say, I'm going to tell you exactly when it's coming so that you can be prepared, because that's my thing, is that like, I can't see it. And so it freaks me out. So I did close my eyes because I don't need, frankly, the dentist needle looks like something out of a horror movie. It's terrifying. So I don't want to see it. But just let me know when the pain is coming. So I held my mom's hand and he said, okay, it's coming now. And it's coming now. And it's coming now. And it was just little pricks. Something that it does make you like, at least for me, it made me like squinch my eyes a little bit. That like, it's like, okay. And he did like 3 or 4 shots to begin with and then stopped. And I was like, okay, if you're okay with shots in your arm, it hurts no worse than that. And, and he was like, okay, those are the worst ones. The first couple of shots are the worst ones. After that, you shouldn't really feel anything because you're starting to be numb. And he was right. I barely felt anything after that. The worst part for me, because then once he got this side fully numb, I barely felt any of the rest of the shots. Then he started cleaning. And while he was in the middle of cleaning this side, he was like, I'm going to start numbing this side so that it's already numb and like, you know, for time saving. And where I said, fantastic. And so it was the same thing that I went, okay. Like it was little like pinches of pain, but nothing unbearable by any means. Again, no worse than a shot in the arm. And he said, that's the worst part. For me, that wasn't true. The worst part was, I was basically completely numb. So I wasn't expecting anything, but there was one shot right about here. And frankly, this is where my gums are the lowest. This is where I'm the most sensitive. And so, this shot right here was the most painful. Again, no worse than drawing blood, no worse than an IV, no worse than a shot in the arm, but still I was like, okay. It was still only like a second or two. And, but that was the worst one. And then past that, I felt nothing. You're numb as shit. He got like his little, it's like the little picks that they use, but it's vibrating. So it just, I know they go up and underneath your gums and all over the place and whatever. It just felt like he was doing the surface of my teeth. It didn't ever, I was unaware of the fact that because I was scared I was going to feel like pressure on my gums and stuff. And that's how I knew he was going to be underneath them. And I didn't. It felt like he just went over the surface of my teeth. And then it was done. I was in and out with numbing and the cleaning and everything in an hour and a half. I told my mom, bring a laptop, bring a book, I'm going to bring a podcast, we're going to be bored. And we didn't need any of it. He was done. And so I went, oh my God. After the first 3 shots, I was like, oh, I got this. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. So thank you, dentalfearcentral.com.org, whatever it is, for helping me get there. And for anybody else who's doing a deep cleaning or whatever, it's not that bad. Not that bad. And I was expecting to be sore or what? Nothing. So it's like, maybe I'm the weird one. But when I got out, I knew he had done shit, because when I got out, I lifted my lips up and there was blood on every single gum all over my mouth. I was bleeding, didn't know, and I bled a little bit when I very first brushed my teeth, but it didn't hurt. I have not been sore. It's as if nothing happened. I've eaten like normal ever since. I ate like normal that night. No biggie at all. And I asked him, my biggest fear was that I was going to need a gum graft because my gum down here is super low. And I was like, so I asked him, I said, do you think I'm going to need a gum graft? And he was like, really, it's not like a want or it's not like a need or a don't need. It's a want or a don't want. So he was like, if it's causing you any pain or if you don't like how it looks, then you can do a gum graft. But, you know, and I said, I feel nothing actually. It doesn't hurt at all. And he was like, really? And I was like, no, it doesn't hurt at all. He was like, then you don't need one unless it would be for aesthetic purposes only. And I was like, even when I smile my biggest smile, you cannot see it. So it's like, I'd have to pull my lip down for you to be able to see it. I don't give a shit about aesthetics at that point. He was like, as long as we can keep it clean and whatever, then it's fine. I was like, yes! So he's having me go in for a comprehensive exam where they're gonna do more x-rays. He says it looks like I have a few small cavities that they will probably want to fill, but otherwise that's it. I don't need any more big things. So it's like, it's not going to be that big of a deal. And I have more Valium for if I want it for the fillings and stuff. But if I can get through a deep cleaning, I think I can get through a filling and be just fine. But no, it was no big deal. No big deal at all. And I feel totally fine. And it was cool because there was a spot, there's a couple spots now where I have like almost a gap in my teeth. Not like a gap, but like I can feel a little spot that I was like, oh, that wasn't there before, because it was probably full of plaque. And same thing with this, with my gum, with my tooth where the gum is receded the most, there was like this big bump on it. And I figured that that was just like the shape of the tooth. And it's gone. That bump is gone. So it was plaque. That's why my gum had receded so far, is because there was all that gunk underneath there that he was able to clean out. And my receded gum has already started to look more healthy. All of my gums are starting to feel more healthy. It's fantastic. So, deep cleaning was no big deal. Logbooks are back in stock. So if you'd like a logbook, they're back in stock. I don't know if I mentioned that already. And scents for next week, this week we released Candy Corn and Harvest Spice, which was very exciting. Next week, let me just look at, I have a Google Calendar for work. Let me just look at it real quick. This week is, isn't it? Yeah, this week is acai berry and spiced latte. So a normal fruity one and spiced latte, which is so yummy, by the way. So those are what's releasing next week, this next Monday. And candles will be releasing soon, just letting you know. I've been testing them for like a month. They're ready to go. Here's my idea. I'm releasing, if you haven't heard it already, I'm releasing scented candles. I'm offering cotton wicks and wood wicks, and they will be in the same scents that your putty is in, that your wax is in. So my idea is that you light a candle while you diamond paint, because relaxing and healing and anxiety and all that good stuff, all the reasons why we diamond paint, and then you enhance the smell that you're already smelling from the putty, just to make it an even more enhanced smell experience, even more relaxing. That's my idea with the candles. So those will be releasing probably here in the next week or two. And I'm very excited about that. So those will probably be releasing next week, if not the week after, but they're gonna be here really, really soon. I'm so excited for them, and they come in these really cute little mason jars. They're so good. And they smell amazing. But you know, I have two scents that I'm starting with, is watermelon and s'mores. So if you've ever bought either of those scents from us, you know, they're some of our best sellers. They're some of my favorites. And so I wanted them to be the first scents that I released in the candles. I'm hoping to have a large array of scents for the candles someday, just like we do with the putty. But for now, this is what we're starting with. It's going to be so good. So that's that. I have a lot of Etsy messages to reply to today. I need to do that. And then that's it. So let's read a Reddit story. And then it's going to be the end of the week, the end of this video. Been a wild week. I'm excited for it to be over. Let's do, what should we do today? Let's see if there is a good true off my chest. See if there's a good one. Ooh, this one could be interesting. This was posted 12 hours ago. And, ooh, that one also sounds good too. This one has more upvotes, so I'm gonna go with this one. There was two that sounded interesting, but this one has more upvotes, so I'll go with this one. It was posted 19 hours ago. It has a crap ton of awards, and it says, he'll be surprised to find his shit outside on Monday, just like when he suddenly remembered he was the father of 2. Oh, shit. So it's a little bit of a short one, but it says, after dating for almost 2 years and never seeing or hearing of any children, he suddenly brought home 2 precious little girls. Come to find out, these are his babies and they need to stay with us because their mother got into a car crash. And if we didn't take them in, they'd have to go with the social service people. I should have kicked him out right there and then, but I just couldn't justify the girls' suffering. I took care of them, comforted them when they were worried about losing their mother while he barely was around. He expected me to carry the burden of parenting while he watched TV, was at the gym, or just out, and I did. I never even once took the girls to visit their mother in the hospital. He had an excuse every time I asked him to come with us. Oh, he never even once took the girls to visit their mother in the hospital. He had an excuse every time I asked him to come with us. I am angry with myself, even though I know I have done nothing wrong. Tonight, he had the audacity to be angry with me because he feels I haven't been paying him attention lately. But no worries. The girls are going back home. Their mother has recovered enough for her to have them back on Monday. And then that fucker and I are done. Edit. The funniest part is how everyone in his life just let him forget he was a father, and never once did anyone tell me or even hint at him being a dad, even his goddamn parents. Oh my God. Imagine, listen, let's put this in my own life perspective. Perry and I have been together for 3 years. Imagine if one day he brings home 2 kids and he's like, yo, by the way, I have kids. And then has the audacity to not spend time with them. And then even more audacity to say, you're not paying enough attention to me. Sir, bye. Like, oh my God, I would be done too. So good for her. The top comment is, I would like to hear an update on this, but thank goodness you're doing the right thing. Me too. And the next comment says, good on you for taking care of the kids and not letting them suffer while their mom was recovering. Happy for you that you'll be ending this relationship. I completely agree. That is fucking insane. This one says, you will go down in history with those 2 little girls as some sort of guardian angel. Thank goodness you stepped up. And the next comment says, for real, because, quote, Dad clearly didn't. He has never spoken of or spoken to these children. We don't know how old they are. We don't know if he's ever been a part of their life, but he at least hasn't been a part of their life for the past 2 years. He's got 2 kids. That is insane. It looks like there might be some comments from OP, so yeah, there's no update, but it looks like there's a couple of comments. Oh, there's quite a few comments, so let's read through them. This comment says, so unpopular opinion, but I don't know. I feel like maybe more backstory is needed here. Did you ask him about the kids? Like, this could have been a situation where he told the mom from day one that he didn't want kids, and if she kept them, that he wouldn't be involved. There are lots of reasons why he wasn't in the picture for them and isn't their dad. I totally agree it was shitty of him to dump childcare on you for the time that he had them. But if it's been 2 years and you didn't even know they existed, he might not have ever thought he'd end up in a situation where he had them either. I feel like everyone is tearing this guy down when we don't really know enough about what's going on. On the other hand, OP, you are amazing for taking them in and making sure they are cared for while the mom was recovering. So OP does respond to this, and there's a little bit of back and forth. But I want to say that I get what this commenter is saying. But to me, it would only really be a sufficient answer for me if he said, I had no idea I had children. And all of a sudden, she comes to me and goes, by the way, you have 2 kids and you have to take care of them for while I'm whatever. If he was completely unaware that he even had children in this world, then he's justified. Not justified in the dumping care on them, but justified in the fact that he never told her because he never knew. That's the only reason that makes sense. Otherwise, even if you said from day one, I don't want kids, I don't want to be a part of this, you still had an obligation to tell her, I have children, but I have, from the beginning, I haven't been a part of their lives because I wasn't interested in having kids and she insisted on having them, or whatever the situation was. You still have to come forward for that. And then she gets to make her decision on how she feels about that. Let's see what OP says about it. So OP says, he was her husband and I am certain he wanted those girls. Okay, well then it's bullshit. I've even seen evidence of his ex-wife to believe that he was a willing and enthusiastic participant in their creation. He just stopped being a father because he couldn't have the mother, so left him, and to punish her, he abandoned their children. I've seen texts he sent to his ex-wife that he'd pay his child support if she would sleep with him, and other texts where he would say he's not interested in the children unless he can also be in her life. Honestly, there's zero justification for his behavior. I agree. No, like I said, the only circumstance is if he had no idea that he had children in this world. That's your only justification on this. Nope, definitely not. Oh, and then they commented on OP's response, somebody else did, and said, so you knew about the kids all along, why play dumb now? Because this is fake, phony baloney, karma whoring bullshit, that's why. So they're saying it's completely fake and that the fact that she has seen these texts says that she knew about them all along. Okay. OP responds to that and says, I did not know about the kids beforehand. I found out about the rest of his lying and bullshit when I took the kids to visit their mother, who showed me old texts and told me about their marriage and divorce. Also, who the fuck do you think you are calling me a whore? Fuck you. Agree. Next one says, please, after you dump his ass, go visit the mom, bring some snacks for the mom and the girls, and check on her. Ooh. Go back. No, go back. I accidentally clicked something. Okay. Lose the asshole, possibly gain a friend. And OP responded and said, I've already been doing that. Me and the girls have visited her every day and brought her food, change of clothes, and anything else she needed. My sister and I have even deep cleaned her house yesterday in preparation for her return, and I'm literally picking her up. She is a lovely lady and has really opened my eyes to the man I've been playing house with. Helping her and the girls has been the only good thing to ever come out of me knowing this man. She is a fucking saint. And then there's another comment that says, why did you say when he complained, what did you say when he complained you weren't paying him enough attention? Is he still alive? Is his head still on his body? Man, I would have snapped. Of course I don't have attention for you. You just dumped 2 babies on me. And OP responds and said, I was in the process of bathing the girls when he said that, and I literally wanted to chew his face off, but I kept myself together. I've just been very minimal with him. I don't want to argue with him or shout because I can't just do that with 2 little kids in my house who are already very stressed and scared. She is a fucking saint. 2 more comments left. One comment says, please talk to their mother when you hand off and let her know how horrible a father he has been. She needs to find an emergency contact if something were to happen to them because it is not him. Edit, I do not mean OP should become the emergency contact. I mean maybe a family member to the mother, a super close friend, etc. And OP responds and says, oh, she knows. I've been in contact with her this entire time. I had to obviously get her house key and get stuff for the girls and talk to her about their routine and needs. And then the last comment is, please be done with him for your own sake. And OP responds and says, darling, I am beyond done with him. I just couldn't bring my heart to kick him out while he had the girls. Like I said, their mother has recovered and is ready for me to bring the girls home on Monday. Thank you. So this is happening in real time. It is Friday. The girls are going back on Monday. It's so crazy to think that some of this shit happens in real time. I am going to, let's see if it'll let me do this. I want to, because I want a fucking update on this. I'm hoping on Monday or something that we have an update on this. So I am going to, because I never log into Reddit. Really? Is that it? No. Hold on. Yeah, try that one. Yeah. Okay, so now that I've signed in, I'm going to save it. So the post has now been saved. So I bet when there's an update, I can find it. And I'm gonna try to remember to check on Monday and all next week to see if we ever get an update on this, because hoo-wee! All right, that's it though. That's all the comments. That's all we have. This is the only thing on her page is this story. So that was a good one. I liked that one. All right. I didn't bring any crafting to show you. I'm so sorry. But I really haven't been doing much. Oh, you know what I did do? I finished Pride, my diamond painting. So I will, but I don't really want to show it on here because I want to do a post review and talk about it. So I'm going to be filming a post review next week. And then I'm also going to be filming a kitting up video of the next diamond painting I'm going to do. So that'll be good, but that'll be later. So, but I'm just letting you know I finished it. Woo! It took me, I started it on June 1st for Pride Month. It has taken me 4 whole months. That is the longest it has ever taken me to finish a diamond painting. In the 2 years, 3 years, however long since I've been diamond painting, that's crazy. It's never taken me that long. So, and also, I have returned the microphone I've been using, and I ordered a new one. Because apparently, listen, hopefully 3rd microphone is the charm. This is the 3rd microphone I've tried. This is going to be the 3rd one for filming these videos. And apparently film school really spoiled me because we had really high-end lav mics. And so, which is the ones that I've been using that clip to your shirt. And I've been really like spoiled to that quality of audio. And so none of them have been good enough, frankly. And so that one will be here on Sunday. So I'll be able to record with it next week. It is an official lav mic, like the ones that I used in school. It was quite expensive, but it's going to be worth it. So hopefully audio for any video from here on out is going to be like A1. So we'll see how that goes on Monday. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it was a little all over the place. I really appreciate you guys hanging out and watching. I've got some exciting videos coming out next week. My post review is coming next week. So that'll be really good. I hope you guys had a great time watching this. You got a lot of crafting done. You enjoyed the bullshit that was this week. And I love you all. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.